Have we been aging wrong this whole time? Because while most of us are out here fighting grey hair and chasing youth, Andie MacDowell, the 66-year-old Hollywood icon, has completely flipped the script. The best part is that she looks more radiant than ever. Today, we're breaking down Andie MacDowell's actual hair and beauty secrets, the ones she's publicly shared in interviews and lives by Daily. You'll hear the exact tips she uses to embrace grey hair, enhance natural beauty, and feel confident in your 60s and beyond. Stick around because by the end of this video, we'll reveal the one unexpected beauty rule she swears by, and it's something most women over 60 still avoid. Let's get into it. Let's start with the most iconic move Andie made, embracing her natural beauty. In a 2021 Vogue interview, Andie said, "At the very beginning of quarantine, my hair started growing, and every time my kids would see me, they kept telling me I looked badass with my grey hair." Instead of covering it up, she leaned into it. Why? Because she wanted to feel more authentic. Andie made a powerful point. "I want to be proud of where I am in life and not ashamed of it." That's something most of us can relate to. After 60, we've earned every strand of silver. So what's her tip here? Don't fight the grey, work with it. Use a purple shampoo to keep it from going brassy and lean into tones that highlight your natural colouring. Now let's talk about moisture because Andie does not play around when it comes to keeping things hydrated. In an interview with People magazine, she said that as she aged, the biggest change in her beauty routine was adding more hydration everywhere. For her hair, she uses deep conditioning masks regularly, especially since grey and curly hair tends to be drier. And for her skin, she swears by using facial oils at night. Here's what she said. "My skin really changed post-50. I use thicker moisturizers now, and I love oils because they give me that glow without makeup." Ladies, that's your permission slip to ditch the harsh mattifiers and invest in a rich moisturizer. And when it comes to makeup, Andie's take might surprise you because it's not about covering up. Light makeup is the key. As we move into makeup, here's something unexpected about Andie MacDowell. She doesn't pile it on. In fact, her beauty philosophy is refreshingly simple. She's not into full coverage or layers of contour. Her approach is more about looking like herself, just a little more polished. That doesn't mean she skips makeup altogether, quite the opposite. She chooses just a few products, but she chooses them carefully. In a 2022 interview with Allure, Andie said, "Less is more, but it has to be the right products. I focus on a little concealer, cream blush, and brow gel." She knows exactly what works for her, and she keeps it minimal so her natural features still shine through. For women over 50, this is a powerful reminder. You don't need a dozen products to look fresh and put together. In fact, heavy powders and thick foundations tend to do the opposite. They settle into fine lines and make skin look dull. Instead, swap those out for a light BB cream or a hydrating tinted moisturizer. These give you just enough coverage to even things out without masking your skin. Andie also swears by cream blush, and that's a smart move. Cream formulas melt into the skin and give a dewy, healthy finish. Powder blush can sometimes sit on top of the skin or make texture more noticeable. Creams, on the other hand, blend right in and feel more natural. Andie often leans into rose tones, which are incredibly flattering on mature skin. They warm up the complexion without looking too bold. Here's a little trick that makes a big difference. Apply your blush slightly higher on your cheekbones, not directly on the apples of your cheeks. This creates a soft lift and keeps everything looking light and fresh. It's subtle, but it works. Makeup over 50 doesn't have to be complicated, it just needs to be intentional. Next, let's talk about the one thing Andie never skips in her beauty routine, and it might be sitting in your bathroom already. You guessed it right. The skincare routine. Andie has always been honest about this. While showing her favorite products, she said something simple that really sticks. Makeup can only do so much. You have to take care of the canvas. For her, skincare isn't about chasing perfection, it's about nourishment, about keeping skin healthy, soft and strong as it changes with age. Her nighttime ritual isn't overly complicated, but it's thoughtful, and the products she uses are chosen for a reason. She starts with a gentle cleanser, nothing too harsh, and never a soap that leaves her skin feeling tight. At our age, that squeaky clean feeling is usually a bad sign. It often means your skin's protective barrier is stripped. Next, she uses a toner or a soft facial mist. This preps the skin so that everything else absorbs better. Andie's skin always looks hydrated and fresh, and this step helps with that. After that comes a vitamin C serum. This step is key for brightening dull areas and helping the skin look more awake. Vitamin C can fade spots over time too, and even out the tone without bleaching the skin. Her moisturizer always includes hyaluronic acid, an ingredient that draws water into the skin and keeps it looking plump. At 60, dryness can creep in quickly, especially overnight, and this keeps her skin hydrated well into the morning. Then comes a facial oil, which she smooths over the top to lock everything in. This last step is about sealing in moisture and giving the skin a soft, healthy glow. Andie's skin doesn't look oily or shiny, it just looks cared for. What stands out most is how consistent she is. You don't need a drawer full of bottles. A few high-quality basics, used regularly, make all the difference. She doesn't skip steps and she doesn't chase trends. She sticks with what works. One more thing, Andie avoids anything too strong. She stays away from alcohol-based products and heavy fragrances, which is smart. At this stage, many of us notice our skin gets more sensitive. Harsh ingredients can leave it dry, red, or reactive. Andie understands that, and she listens to her skin. This is the kind of routine that supports your natural beauty, rather than covering it up. Now, let's take a closer look at how Andie styles her natural hair and the surprising way she uses texture to her advantage. For Andie MacDowell, her hair has never just been about style. It's a part of her identity. And over the years, she's become even more in tune with what works for her. We've all seen it. Her voluminous, natural curls have been a signature look for decades. But what's truly inspiring is that she didn't abandon them with age. She embraced them more. Instead of reaching for the flat iron or blowing them out into submission, Andie decided to lean in. In a Vogue interview, she shared, "My hair is a big part of who I am. I've learned to take care of it rather than control it." That small mindset shift makes a big difference. For so many women over 60, dealing with hair can start to feel like a daily battle, especially if texture changes with age or if it's been chemically treated over the years. Andie's approach takes that pressure off. She no longer fights with her hair. She nurtures it. She uses curl-enhancing creams instead of heavy styling products. These help define her natural curl pattern without making the hair crunchy or stiff. And when it comes to heat tools, she avoids them unless absolutely necessary. That one choice alone saves her from the dryness and damage that often comes with hot tools. Something many of us are all too familiar with. This mindset is about permission, giving yourself permission to stop the tug of war and just enjoy what you've got. Because that kind of ease and acceptance, that's beautiful at any age. Now, this one might sound cliche, but Andie backs it up with experience. It's confidence. This one might sound familiar, but the truth is, it matters more than most beauty products ever will. Confidence, self-assurance, that quiet, grounded energy that says, "I know who I am." Andie talks about this often, but the way she lives it is what really drives it home. In an interview, she said something so simple and so true. "At 50, I worried too much. At 60, I feel more myself. It shows on my face and people notice." For Andie, embracing her natural grey hair was a huge turning point. The moment she stopped colouring it, she noticed something surprising. Instead of fading into the background, she stood out even more. People complimented her, not because she looked younger, but because she looked confident. She looked like herself. That's powerful. Confidence doesn't mean perfection. It means accepting what's real. Your laugh lines, your natural hair, your energy. It means wearing your experience proudly and not apologizing for your age. You don't need to overdo your makeup or have a perfectly styled outfit. What really makes the biggest impact is how comfortable you are in your own skin. Now, what's one beauty habit you've let go of after 50? Share it in the comments. And if you enjoyed watching this video, you will definitely love this next one.